YouTube, what's going on, fam, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over the top 5 close range guns in Season 5 Reloaded Warzone right now. As we discussed in the previous video, we've done the long range, and now we're doing the close range. As always, in these videos, we're going to be ranking from 5 to 1, and I'm going to be going over all the attachments and tunings with you guys, and giving a little description of why I believe they are in a certain place that I rank them in. But before we get into the video, guys, if you guys could drop a like on this video, hit subscribe button, and be sure to share and tell a friend, I would truly appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get into the loadouts. So starting off with number 5 in this list, we have the BAS-P. Yes, after its 5th or 6th buff, I think it is, the BAS-P is actually finally decent, which I'm quite happy with, to be honest with you, because it's about time. It's about time this BAS-P is actually usable, because it's had loads of buffs in previous updates with weapon changes, everything like that, but it's never been quite good enough to sort of crack into that top 5. But for me, it's just about snuck into that top 5 now, and it actually is really fun to use. I recently used this build in the 21 Savage YouTube video that I just done, and it actually was absolutely ripping for me. So I highly think it's not a gun that's not talked about enough, just because there is a few sort of dominant SMGs still right now in the Warzone meta. But if you guys are looking to try something different, if you're bored of using the current sort of top tier right now, I would highly recommend this BAS-P build. It is really fun to use, and the TTK on it is actually quite decent, and it does feel quite mobile as well, so you don't feel slow using this thing either. So going over the attachments though, now we've got the Brewing Pendulum for the muzzle, we got the 1MW quickfire laser, we got this for the stock, we got the Brewing Flash V4, for the rear grip we got the Brewing Flash grip, and then for the magazine we got the 50 round drum. Going into the tuning, we have all the way down the left side to improve that ADS speed, and all the way to the left, sorry, that's completely wrong, sorry, it should be all the way to the right to help with that recoil control. With the laser, as always with the lasers, guys, we want to improve that sprint to fire speed and that ADS speed, so we go all the way down the left side and then all the way to the left on the bottom. With the stock, we have all the way down the left side for that ADS speed again, and then it should be 2.00 positive to improve that aiming ideal stability. With the rear grip, as always, all the way down the left side for the ADS speed, and then all the way to the left for the sprint to fire speed, and then obviously no tuning for the 50 round magazine. I just want to say, guys, before we sort of get into the next before we get into the next one, I should say, I do prioritize sort of ADS and sprint to fire speed with my tunings with sort of my close range guns, because I really want to make this as mobile as physically as possible, and I want the ADS to be as quick as possible, and I want to be able to get to that ADS time as quick as possible, and to feel as fast as I can with this SMG. So that's why I always prioritize ADS speed and sprint to fire speed with all my tunings. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we have the Vel 46, aka the MP7, another SMG that recently got a buff as well, and is honestly feeling absolutely insane right now in Warzone. The mobility on this MP7 is honestly insane. It feels so quick to use, so any of my movement demons out there that are trying to get as much movement as they possibly can out of the game right now, this is I recommend this SMG build. For me personally, it really does feel like that movement SMG in the game. So if you are a movement demon and you guys want to sort of exploit as much movement as you can from this game, then I would highly recommend this MP7 build. It is just very good, guys. You could probably argue with my number 3 option that I have in this list. You could argue to move this up to the number 3 and then move my number 3 option to the number 4. You can have that argument, but for me, this sits at the number 4 spot, and it is very top tier. Like I said, the close range meta is so close with these recent buff changes, guys, that all these are very close to each other. So yeah, the MP7 is very good, guys. Highly recommend using it, and really fun to use. But going over the attachments, got the Brewing Pendulum once again for the muzzle, got the 1MW quickfire laser. For the stock, we got the Demo RXT stock. For the rear grip, we have the Schlager Soldier grip, and then we have the 50 round mag. Going into the tuning, we have all the way down the left side for the ADS speed, and then all the way to the right for the recoil control. Going into the laser, all the way down the left side for that sprint to fire speed, and then all the way to the left on the bottom for the ADS speed. And then for the stock, we have all the way down the left side for the ADS speed, and then we have 2.00 positive for the aiming ideal stability. For the rear grip, we have all the way down the left side for ADS, and then all the way to the left on the bottom for the sprint to fire speed, and then obviously no tuning on the 50 round mag. So moving on to number 3 in the list, we have the brand new burst SMG that released in the mid-season update, the Lotman Shroud. Honestly, I personally think this SMG is insane, guys. And honestly, if it had the fully auto option, it would be number one on this list. This thing is absolutely insane, especially in the semi-auto mode. If you get it from under 7 meters, this thing kills so quick. It's honestly broken. But the only reason it's broken is because you have to have a seriously quick trigger finger, if I'm being honest with you, and you have to be in sort of that really close range sort of fights to get the benefit out of it. So it's really not that consistent. You're not really getting the consistent sort of broken TTK that you could potentially get with this in semi-auto mode. But even in the burst mode, this thing feels absolutely ridiculous. And the reason why I have it above the MP7, some people might argue it because they don't really like the burst sort of SMG style, because that slight delay can affect you sometimes in gunfights. If you're not sort of hitting your shots in sort of like the upper torso and headshot area, you can sort of lose out on fights sometimes when it comes to that regard. But for me, if you're hitting your shots in the right areas, I truly believe this SMG is absolutely insane, and why I've got it in the number 3 spot above the MP7. Honestly, really fun to use. I do wish it was fully auto though. I do have to say that I really do wish it was fully auto, because this thing would be absolutely disgusting if it was. But still top 3 for me right now in the current Warzone meta for the close range options. So the build for this, we got the 114mm Dark Star for the barrel, we've got the 1MW quickfire laser. For the stock, we got the FT mobile stock. For the ammunition, we got the 9mm sub hollow point, and then for the magazine, we got the 40 round mag. Going into the tuning, we have 0.45 positive for the recoil steadiness, and then all the way to the left on the bottom bar for that ADS speed. With the laser, as always guys, sprint to fire speed, ADS speed priority. With the stock, all the way down the left side, ADS speed, and then 2.00 positive for that aiming ideal stability. Moving on to the ammunition, we've got 0.65 positive for that damage range, and then 6.97 positive on the bottom bar to help that bullet velocity, and then obviously no tuning for the 40 round mag. So moving on to the number 2 spot, and you could argue, to be honest with you, this could be in the number 1 spot. It's purely just personal preference if I'm being truly honest with you, because they are so close together. But coming in at number 2, we have the ISO 45. Yes guys, this ISO 45 is still absolutely disgusting, because with guns that were getting nerfed and buffed, etc, and stuff, things like that, the ISO 45 just didn't get touched at all. So it just stayed top tier, quite frankly, to be honest with you. This thing is just absolutely disgusting. Ever since it's been dropped, it's been absolutely disgusting. It's been top tier, it's been absolutely meta ever since they dropped this gun into the game, and it is super fun to use. I absolutely love this gun. Craig got some great movement on it, feels quick, feels mobile, ADS speed's crazy, TTK is crazy on it as well. Just a really fun SMG close range gun to use, and I personally absolutely love it. The only thing that I think puts people off using it potentially is the iron sight, which is easy enough guys, because this is such like a lightweight gun. You could potentially take the laser off and put an optic on if you hate that iron sight that much, and you still won't notice too much of sort of a negative from taking that laser off with the ADS and sprint to fire speed. So that is an option, but I don't mind the iron sight too much. I can sort of get past it and still get the full benefit from it. I don't mind it. But if you are someone that really hates the iron sight on this thing, I would take the laser off and put an iron sight off, or put an optic on, I should say, of your choosing to get the full benefit from it. But for me, this comes in at number 2 right now, and it is still absolutely disgusting, and arguably equal with number 1, what I have with number 1 in this list. But going with the attachments right now, we have the Brewing Pendulum once again for the muzzle, 1MW quickfire laser. The stock, we have the Demo Fade tack. For the rear grip, we have the EXP shear, and then for the magazine, we have the 45 round drum. Going into the tuning, it's quite similar guys with all my SMGs, because they all sort of, I build them all the same, because they sort of all feel the same with the same tunings. We go all the way down the left side for the ADS speed, and then all the way to the right for the recoil control. For the laser, all the way down the left side for sprint to fire, all the way to the left and the bottom for ADS speed. And then for the stock, we have all the way down on the left side for ADS speed, and then it should be 2.00 positive for that aiming ideal stability. For the rear grip, as always, prioritizing ADS speed and sprint to fire speed, and then once again no tuning on the magazine. So moving on to the number 1 spot and the number 1 close range gun in Warzone right now, my personal favorite, and to be honest, one of my all-time favorite guns in Call of Duty history, the Lotman sub, aka the MP5. You know what, before I get into the attachment and everything guys, with you, I never understand why they changed the names for these guns. Like, this is the MP5. It's not the Lockman sub. It's never going to be the Lockman sub. It is the MP5. So I just don't understand why they just don't call it the MP5. I know it might be because of rights names and stuff like that, but why can we use MP5 in previous games, and why do we have to change it to Lockman sub now? It really infuriates me because it's such an iconic gun. It's the MP5, nothing else, the MP5, and I won't be told different. But anyway, let's get into the build for this. Like I said, guys, this is probably equal to the ISO 45 right now, with sort of how sort of the level of sort of the SMG and what you get out of it. To be honest with you, it's just personal preference. If I'm being truly honest with you, the difference between the ISO 45 and the MP5, the only difference you could really say is that obviously the MP5 has a really nice iron sight, whereas the ISO 45 for some people don't really get on with it. But that's just by the by, if I'm being honest with you. But for me, my personal preference is the MP5, so it's number one for me right now in the options. That's just plain and simple. It just feels more consistent. When I'm in gunfights with the MP5, I just feel more consistent when I'm in sort of having one-on-one fights at the end of the day. Whereas with the ISO, I can feel sometimes it's inconsistent. Like one fight with the ISO, I could absolutely shred someone, and then another fight, it could feel like it's taking me forever just to down the guy. So yeah, but with the MP5, it just feels like every gunfight I go into, I know how many, what I need to do basically to down that guy, how many bullets he's going to take me, and it just feels consistent in every gunfight. So for me, I've got it in the number one spot. Probably a bit of favoritism as well, as the MP5 is one of my favorite guns of all time, but it is what it is. It's in the number one spot for me personally. So for the barrel, we got the L38 Falcon. For the laser, we got the 1MW quickfire laser. For the stock, we got the FT mobile stock. For the ammunition, we've got the 9mm overpressured P ammunition rounds, and then for the magazine, we've got the 40 round mag. Going into the tunings, for the barrel, we got 0.40 positive for the help with that recoil steadiness, and then we go all the way to the left on the bottom bar for that ADS speed. With the laser, we go all the way down the left side sprint to fire, all the way to the left on the bottom for ADS speed. For the stock, all the way down for ADS speed, and then it should be 2.00 positive for that aiming ideal stability. For the ammunition, we got 0.70 positive to help with that damage range, and then we got 6.97 positive to improve that bullet velocity, and then obviously once again no tuning on the 40 round mag. So guys, that is my list for the top 5 close range guns in Warzone right now. But guys, let me know down in the comments if you agree with my list. Do you agree with the 5 guns that I have in my list right now, or do you think I'm missing out on the close range guns that you think I need to try out a bit more and could sneak into that top 5 spot? Let me know down in the comments, guys, what you guys think. If you agree with me, if you don't agree with me, what do you think should go in that top 5? And as always, guys, I stream all my gameplay over on Twitch 3 to 4 days a week. I'll leave a link down below for my channel. We'd love you guys to come over and come join the B fam, where I do all my testing live on stream, and I actually do use a bunch of my community's loadouts as well. So if you guys do have a loadout or class setup that you guys want me to try, be sure to come over to the Twitch, join the B fam, drop a follow, put the class setup in the chat, and I'll try and use it live on stream just for you. And I know I've already asked you guys at the beginning of the video for this, but if you guys could drop a like on this video, hit subscribe button, and be sure to share and tell a friend, I would truly appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.